מי ימלל גבורות ישראל אותן מי ימנה אין בכל דור יקום הגיבור גולל העם מי ימלל גבורות ישראל אותן מי ימנה אין בכל דור יקום הגיבור גולל העם שמע ההם בזמן הזה מכבי מושיע ופודה ובימינו כל עם ישראל יתאחד יקום להיגאל Who can retell the things that befell us Who can count them In every age a hero a sage time to array Who can retell the things that we tell us Who can count them In every age a hero or sage came to our aid At this time of year in days of yore Maccabees the temple did restore And today our people as we dreamed Will arise, unite and be redeemed Yimalel, Yimalel Gurot Yisrael Otan Mimne En Bechol Dor Yakim Uvnebor Golel Ham Yimalel Gurot Yisrael Otan Mimne En Bechol Dor Yakum Agibor Golel Ham
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Welcome to my favorite Shabbat of the year. Not just because it's Hanukkah, not just because it's the anniversary of my bat mitzvah. That's the day I decided I wanted to be a rabbi. But because this is the first Shabbat past the winter solstice. It is the first Shabbat of increasing light. It's the end of the year, and there is lots of shimmering and glittering all around us or on us. But it's the light itself that is increasing in our world. And really, what better source of optimism could there be? I'm Rabbi Sarah Berman, alongside our senior cantor, Daniel Mutlu, Rabbi Ari Lorge. We are here with Dave Strickland and our amazing musicians. Our shamashim are here, our production and security and facilities and events staff, everybody who makes Shabbat happen for all of us. Let's give them a wave. And you. We are here with all of you. Shabbat Shalom to everybody here in this sanctuary and everybody watching us at home. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Urim Sameach. It really is such a privilege to be together on the final Shabbat of 2024. Whether this was a great year or a challenging year, whether it was full of triumphs or full of challenges, we get one final moment to take a breath, take a moment, take a break, and bask in the shimmering lights of Shabbat and Hanukkah, and in the warmth of our central community. Now, celebrating all of these things is easier when you know who you are celebrating with. So please take a moment and wish a Shabbat Shalom and a Happy Hanukkah to those sitting near you. that we know who we're praying and singing and giving thanks alongside, we turn to our Hanukkah candles and their blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu bemitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim la'avoteinu bayamim hahem b'zman hazeh. Ma'u sur yeshuati l'chanae l'shabeach, tikon beit tefilati v'sham toda nezabeach, letachin matbeach mitzar hamnabeach, az egmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah tamizbeach, az egmor b'shir mizmor Chanukah tamizbeach.
And continuing our lighting and our glimmering and our shimmering, we invite Peggy and David Tanner, Eileen Gallagher and Abe Nuckman, and Nikki and Harold Tanner to light our Shabbos candles.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, metzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Our celebration and gratitude continues with Kabat Shabbat. Shiru Ladonai, we sing unto God. The words are on our order of service.
Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai, kol la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya na 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 na, ya 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 na na. Shiru, shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru, shiru l'Adonai. a song of joy and praise. Sing it out, oh, sing it loud. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Our gratitude for this day, for our community, for our God. Mizmor LeDavid, page 18, and your order of service.
Mizmor LeDavid, Avu l'Adonai b'nei Eli, Avu l'Adonai kavod v'amuz, Avu l'Adonai kevod shemo, Ishtachabu l'Adonai be'adrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai be'adar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, vayishaber Adonai et arzei almanot, vayarkidem kemo eged, lebanot v'sirion kemo ben remim.
In our bodies and our spirits to welcome Shabbat. We continue with Lecha Dodi on page 20. We'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we reach verse 9, we'll all rise and face the door to welcome the Sabbath bride.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat Nekabela Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echad Hishmiyanu el hamyochad Adonai echad U'shemo echad L'shem ultiferet v'li tehillah Lecha לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה יאללה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך ומאורי אורי אורי שדברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה יאללה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת מלך גם לשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה It's your turn Abela yalala lecha dodi לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה We remain standing and continue with Baruch Hu, our call to prayer on page 146. Ya la 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 Ya la ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la ya la 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai המבורך
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
לה 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 יה לה יה לה 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 יה לה יה לה Please be seated. We continue together in the Hebrew on the top of page 147. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma poteach she'arim uvidvuna meshaneh itim
ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור.
הוא מעביר יום ומביא לילה, הוא מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבי.
We continue responsively in the English on page 148. In each age, we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment, we are addressed by the world.
In each age, we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment, we stand face to face with truth.
In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth.
ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך שמו,
אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Our song of freedom, Micha Mocha, is on page 152.
La la la
dark in winter, it can feel difficult to feel protected, to feel safe. Our Hashkivenu prayer offers us this moment to ask for what we need, for that protection, for that arm of love, the divine, of one another, to keep us safe. Hashkivenu is on page 153.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Behamidenu malkeinu lechayim. You know it, I want to hear you. Hashkivenu. Shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom. For the sake of your name, shield us from hatred, from sorrow and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom.
Come to Tefillah on page 155. Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר, מושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיים מתים, אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומודיד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, בנאמן נתן החיות ביתי, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלע, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Sometimes the words on the page are exactly what we need, and sometimes we need to look inside our own hearts. We continue silently, seated or standing, as is your custom.
ישועתי לך נאה לשבח, תיקון די תפילתי ושם תודה נזבח, לעת הכין מטבח מצער המנבח, אז אגמור בשיר מזמור חנוכת המזבח. Rock of ages, let our song praise your saving power. You amidst the raging foes were our sheltering tower. They assailed us, but your arm availed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us.
This is Sasha Trufanov. He's a dual citizen of Russia and Israel. He's an engineer for Annapurna Labs, an Israeli company that is owned by Amazon. Sasha is now 29 years old. He has spent 2 birthdays as a hostage. When he was 27, he was taken from kibbutz near Oz, where his father died in Hamas's attack. Sasha was taken from his family home along with his grandmother, his mother, and his partner, all of whom were released from captivity in November of 2023. They are home. He is not. We pray for Sasha and all the hostages gone 448 days and those working to free them. Our prayer for Israel and the hostages is on your order of service. Please read with me. Eternal God, we ask your blessing for the state of Israel and those who defend it. At this time of war and loss, give strength to the bereaved and bind up the wounds of the injured. Grant wisdom and vision to the leaders of the region. Holy One, have mercy and compassion on all innocents who suffer in this ongoing war. Inspire the hearts of our brothers and sisters held captive to keep holding out hope. Please, eternal source of life, release them, redeem them, bring them home, and let us say, Amen. Hope is an action. So says Maoz Yinon, an Israeli entrepreneur whose parents were killed in their home in the early hours of October 7th, 2023. There are so many reasons 2024 was hard. Endless war and human suffering, the hostages, our own struggles of body, mind, and spirit, and even harder, to see the struggles of those we love. Even in the face of this impossible amount of pain, each Shabbat, we still hope. We hope things will get better. Hope is an action, and so is prayer. So we continue to join together to hope and act and pray for comfort and connection, and for the healing of body, of mind, and of spirit. The Central Synagogue community is praying for Carolyn Belfer, Karen Chaikin, Ziggy Galit, Peter Lambert, Jerry K. Schindler, Linda Linney Smith, Ron Tabak, and Beverly Unger. To those names, we add the names of the loved ones you're holding in your heart in need of our action and prayer tonight. Misha Berach, our prayer for healing is on the order of service. Is an action, and so is celebration. Sharing our joy, raising our bodies and our voices together, these are choices we make, actions we take, and there is nothing more powerful and sustaining. So if I say something that is true for you this week, please rise and then stay standing until we've all chosen to stand as one community, united in celebration. So if in the past week or in the week ahead you celebrated a birthday like me, or an anniversary, or perhaps a pet-iversary, please rise. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy pet-iversary. If this is your first time here at Central, please rise. My family, stand up. If this past week you cooked a Hanukkah food, please rise. Or if you ate a Hanukkah food, if you gave or received a Hanukkah present, if you're just glad to see a little more light in the world this Shabbat, we join together in Shehechianu, our blessing of joy on your order of service.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
I'm going to invite you to remain standing. We're going to call up Sloan to the bima to receive her Hebrew name. If you thought sequins shine, just wait till you see this baby. Yes, Dave is shushing us, not because we can't laugh, but because Sloan, you can tell, is not used to shul. Usually you fall asleep during the rabbi's sermon, not before. Here, come on up, come on up. So the good news, Sloan, is that we are announcing your Hebrew name. You don't have to be awake for this. I'm going to share some information with you about this name, and you can watch the tape later. Sloan Suzuki Tanner, welcome to Central Synagogue. We could not be fuller-hearted to introduce you to this congregation where your dad's family has been so involved and whose leadership has been so vital. And we are overjoyed that tonight your mom Emmy's family is here too, sharing this special moment, one big embrace from your families. You come to this bima with a name that represents the many heritages that are passed down to you. Sloan represents your mother's Irish side of the family, Suzuki honors your mother's Japanese side of the family, and Tanner pays tribute to your father's Jewish family. And your name Sloan honors your great-grandmothers, Sue Gallagher and Sally Epstein of blessed memory. Your parents hope that you will come to embody Sue's questioning spirit and lifelong learning. And both Sue and Sally were keepers of family traditions, and they both lived out values that are core to your parents and sense of what is important in life. So they hope you will walk in their ways. And on this Shabbat also, we think of Sally's husband, Alan, whose Yahrzeit is tonight. In our community, you will be known as Maya. This name has meaning in Hebrew, Japanese, and Arabic, another way to honor your roots. The Japanese meaning of your name is a person truthful and pure from tip to toe forever. Indeed. And the fact that your name has meaning, and the same meaning in both Hebrew and Arabic, honors the years of devotion your dad has given to peace initiatives between Israelis and Palestinians. May this serve to remind you of our mitzvah, of our commandment, v'hava'at shalom ben adam lechavero, that we are to make peace between people. We hope you are a peacemaker, Sloan. A singer once wrote this lyric that I find dear: if home is where the heart is, then I have a lot of homes. Sloan, we hope this will always be a place in a community you call home, And because your parents are opening doors for you to be at home in so many spaces and many communities, we join in their prayer that you may see the world in its wonder, and so that you can live a life that is true to who you are and who you are becoming. And now we're going to offer you the priestly benediction. We're not going to lift you up. We're going to keep you in your dad's arms. Cantor, would you mind doing the Hebrew?
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
Ken Yehi Ratzon. May God bless you and guard over you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
Ken Yehi Ratzon. May God's light shine upon you and through you and shed grace upon you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך
Shalom. Shalom. May God's Spirit rest upon you and bring you peace, and may you help bring peace to this world that so desperately needs it. And we say together, Amen and Mazel Tov. We remain standing as we prepare to take the Torah to the community.
בימים ההם בזמן הזה על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה Hanukkah linda está aqui 8 candelas para mí Hanukkah linda está aqui 8 candelas para mí una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí, muchas fiestas por José, con alegrías y lazer, muchas fiestas por José, con alegrías y placer. Una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas. 8 candelas para mí, 2 pastelicos por comer, con almendricas y la miel, 2 pastelicas por comer, con almendricas y la miel. Candelicas, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas. 8 candelas para mí. may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise. Another song will rise. Another song will rise. Not by might, not by power. Shalom.
Please be seated. Since the earliest days of European settlement here in America, those who came to these shores viewed it as a new promised land. Early colonists expressed this in so many ways, in their sermons, in their speeches, in place names that they gave. And this trend continued throughout U.S. history. Jews and Jewish immigrants were no exception. In particular, we tend to highlight the Eastern European immigrants who spoke of America as a golden Medina, again, a new promised land. In Fievel, it was where the streets were paved with cheese, but they thought gold, right? And yes, very often the promise was far from the reality. Those of you who have been to a Central Seder when I've led it know that we have a tradition in my family that began with my grandfather, Rabbi Ernst Lorge. He was a German Jewish refugee. And after he finished the Seder and we all sang the Shana Haba'ah B'Yerushalayim next year in Jerusalem, we would always close the Seder with him leading us in singing America the Beautiful. America was the place that saved him. It was a promised land in his story and ours. And so he spent his life working to build an America that lived up to that promise for all citizens. But if we adopt Torah lenses, if we adopt Torah's way of looking at the world, modern-day America is really not the promised land. It is in many ways Egypt. That sounds very harsh, and I don't mean it in a harsh way. But we have to remember that in Torah's time, Egypt was the center of the ancient world. It was the most powerful nation. Its military was unrivaled. It was the breadbasket of the entire world, and its culture was viewed as the height of civilization. And Egypt was, of course, also fundamentally pagan. It idolized wealth and position, power and prestige. An honest assessment using this viewpoint holds that modern-day America is more akin to Egypt than the ancient promised land. And our Torah portion takes us right there. We go to Egypt with our ancestor Joseph, who has seen the ups and downs of Egyptian society. We find Joseph this week forgotten, languishing in prison, innocent of his crimes. When suddenly he is rushed to Pharaoh, who has had 2 dreams, Joseph is asked to interpret them. He does so, warning Pharaoh that after 7 years of plenty, the land will be struck by a famine for another 7 years. Then Joseph suggests a plan for how they can meet that challenge. And Pharaoh, to his credit, recognizes talent when it's in front of him and makes Joseph second in command of the entire nation. Joseph's story is at least one of the original rags to riches stories. But what is Torah trying to get at? This is the first of only 3 tales in our entire Bible about one of our ancestors finding power and position in the diaspora. So there must be some vital lessons for we diaspora dwellers. Well, it's noteworthy that in rapid succession, we get an image of 2 Egypts separated by hundreds of years. We have Joseph's Egypt and then Moses' Egypt. And I don't need to tell you, Moses' Egypt is the archetype of a corrupted society. It is merciless. A majority has dehumanized all minorities, pushing them out of power and stripping them of rights. Society is maintained through violence and intimidation and fear. It is an exploitative world where products matter more than people. Humans are degraded to chattel. This is the diaspora at its most sinister, a world of pagan values at their zenith. Now, Joseph's Egypt is not perfect, but it is not at all Moses' Egypt. Outsiders seem to be welcome if they can contribute. There appears to be some form of meritocracy. After all, Joseph arrives as a Canaanite slave, is able to rise to a position of power due to his skill and competence. And then Pharaoh comes to value Joseph for something truly extraordinary. We're told that Pharaoh sees the Spirit of God, Ruach Elohim, within Joseph. This is what sparks Pharaoh to elevate him, in fact. How strange that it's a non-Israelite who recognizes this. Having God's Spirit within you is a phrase that becomes a marker of divine favor in our Bible, but it's employed for the very first time here, when Pharaoh sees it first. Now, our God is the antithesis of Egyptian religion, at least according to the Torah. For Pharaoh to notice our God's Spirit in Joseph was to recognize within him something un-Egyptian, something countercultural that startles and surprises Pharaoh. What is it? To notice that, we have to look at the text again a little bit closer, I think. Pharaoh asked Joseph, who is a prisoner, wrongly imprisoned, to come and interpret his dreams. Joseph does not owe this man anything. He's been falsely accused, and we would expect someone who's been languishing in prison for years to be a bit bitter, rather angry. Yet Joseph is nothing of the sort. Without promise of freedom or favor, Joseph just generously interprets Pharaoh's dreams, ensuring that Egypt survives the coming calamity. Imagine being in Joseph's shoes. He could have listened to the dreams and then just kept silent, or said he didn't know what they meant, like everyone else had said. He could have let all of Egypt starve. What revenge he could have taken. But no, not Joseph. In fact, he not only interprets the dreams, he then, without any prompting at all, lays out the plan that will be necessary to position Egypt to weather this terrible famine. Why would he do that? He gives away all of his leverage. Pharaoh could easily have just thrown him back into prison and enacted the plan himself, taking all of the credit. But it seems these displays of open-heartedness and generosity, of kindness and mercy and grace, allow Pharaoh to glimpse Ruach Elohim, God's Spirit within Joseph. In Joseph's actions, it seems that Pharaoh sees the qualities that are antithetical to his empire, counter forces to greed and dominance, selfishness and guile. And Pharaoh realizes that only with such a person who has these qualities will they be capable of enacting the necessary systems that are going to save them all. They need someone who can delay gratification, someone who can serve something greater than himself, someone who can relinquish resources to the needy and evenly and fairly give out what has been amassed. Moreover, we later learn that Joseph doesn't only feed starving Egyptians. Joseph has somehow opened Egypt's resources to any foreigner because the famine, you see, has not only spread over Egypt, but over the entire world. And Joseph's godly spirit has allowed him to open up Egypt's storehouses to anyone at all in need. This is not Moses' Egypt. This is the sign of Joseph's Egypt. Is it perfect? No. Is it the promised land? Not at all. But it shows great promise. Joseph has taken that Spirit of God that rests within him and spread it out into and over Egypt. He's made a diaspora that is more godly and more good. We know that it doesn't last. In a few weeks, a Pharaoh will arise who knows not Joseph, who doesn't see that Spirit of God as something valuable and worthwhile. This new Pharaoh will return Egypt to what he thinks has made its past great and glorious. He will make Egypt cruel again. As 2025 dawns, Jews around America in new and profound ways are asking, what is our purpose and place here in the diaspora? We have to remember that Jewish exile exists on a continuum. So are we building Joseph's Egypt, or are we enabling Moses's? Are we using our values and our traditions to lead the way in inculcating a culture here of welcoming the stranger, of opening our hands to the needy, of providing righteous and true judgments, of shunning bribes, of keeping honest scales, of not abandoning the old and impoverishing the sick? Are we, like Joseph, infusing God's Spirit here in this place? For my part, like my grandfather, I continue to sing America the Beautiful at the end of Seder. Because the beautiful part of thinking of America as a land of promise is recognizing the aspiration of what this place has been to some and can be for all, while working tirelessly to make it so. May God's Spirit rest upon each of us in the diasporic new year, and may God's Spirit give us strength for the days ahead. We will now read from that story, from Genesis chapter 41, verses 1 through 4. You can follow along in the thicker blue book on page 264. It's an honor to call up our colleague, Rabbi Sivan Roffels, for the honor of the Aliyah.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, ve'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Vayehi miketz shnatayim yamim ufaroch olem v'hinei omed al hayeor v'hinei min hayeor olot sheva parot yefot mare uvriot basar vatirena ba'achu v'hinei sheva parot acherot olot acherihen min hayeor raot mare ודקות בשר ותעמודנה אצל הפרות על שפת היאור ותאכולנה הפרות רעות המראה ודקות הבשר את שבע הפרות יפות המראה והבריות ויקץ פרעה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Please rise.
וזאת התורה ששם משה לפני בני ישראל על
We're going to turn to page 282 and remain standing for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Please be seated. The flames of Yahrzeit candles have illuminated Jewish homes throughout the centuries. Their lights beat back darkness and sorrow and grief. They are the lights of memory, the lights of acts long past yet still remembered, the lights of love seemingly lost yet still present and palpable. We light this Yahrzeit candle here in our communal home as we remember these dear ones. Chana Katsir, whose health never recovered from her 7 weeks as a hostage of terrorists in Gaza. She died this week at the age of 78 from the conditions brought on by her captivity. We light this candle also to memorialize these dear ones in our community who passed in recent weeks. Robert David Becker, Judah J. Eliezer, Harold Epstein, Jeremy Finkel, Norma Carol Goldberg, Harriet Lorch, Beth Marcus, Everett Reff, Herbert Martin Schulman, Eileen Dee Stern, Willie Werways, and Harold Shames. And we light this candle for those whose Yahrzeits occur on this Shabbat. R. David Adelberg, Lillian Falk Altschuler, Avram Aronson, Janet Balin, Shim Benioff, Jerome Bernheim, Esther Bernstein, Samuel Bezoza, Sidney M. Blauner, Jean Bleckman, Lenore Blitzstein, James Borson, Ann Calderon, Bryce Bergman Chudnow, Barry Dubow, Edgar Eisner, Max Elganian, Peter Ember, Sheila Ember, Ellen Epstein, Monroe Firestone, Peter Fishman, Janet Fisher, Frank Furman, Hilda Rosalind Weiss Gabrilov, Andrew Glasgow, Harriet Glasgow, Thelma Golden, Gladys Gonzalez Ramos, Rabbi Gorfinkel, Bernard Greenberg, Ruth Green, Helen Greenwald, Francis Heller, Ethel Hirsch, Lisa Hockman, Louise Jacobs Mullen, Theodore Caden, David Kahn, Bernard Kaminsky, Marilyn Hurst Karsten, Gerald Cass, Dorothy Kaufman, David Klimmerman, William Ralph Komaroff, Lois Kornman, Dorothy Kreiser, Frank Kreiser, Fred Kriegel, Robert Kuhn, Margaret LaBelle, Jean Lambert, Nellie Langer, Arthur Lotkin, Susan Levine, Elaine Leff, Louise Levin, Max Levy, Claire Eleanor Littman, Herman March, Joan Marks, Frida Myers, Martin Mutterpole, Irving Nelson, Eleanor Paley, Daniel Parker, Brian Perloff, Rosalind Roberts, Honey Rosenthal, Raya Rosenzweig, Jean Rubenstein, Samuel Rudin, Murray Safran, Sandra Gabrilov Saltzman, Joseph Schaefer, Helen Schneider, Diana Shapiro, Arthur Shapiro, Neshama Silverman, Beatrice Sittimer, Herbert Spielman, Carl Stitzer, Leonard Stern, Adriana Thaler, Murray Thaler, Samuel Wasserman, Minnie Wexelblatt, Frank Wexler, Richard Yablon, Carol Zimmerman, Esther Zipkin, and Isaac Zwirling. If you're in a period of Shiva, the first 7 days of mourning a loved one, we invite you to rise. If you're in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning your loved one, we invite you to rise. If you're within Shana, the first year of mourning your loved one, we invite you to rise. And all those whose Yahrzeit you're observing on this Shabbat, we invite you to rise as well. Zichronam Nifracha. May the memory of our loved ones be an abiding blessing. We now will rise to surround and support the mourners in our midst as we recite Kaddish Yatom on page 294. 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'almad yivrach yirtei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chai echon v'yom echon v'chayei techol beit Yisrael, ba'agala b'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei Kedusha Berichu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran ve'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya v'chayim alim v'akol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu yaseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Mimru.
Say shalom b'mromav, say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol
Shabbat Shalom. Chag Urim Sameach. Happy Hanukkah. We want to let you know that following services, we hope that you'll join us downstairs for an Oneg Shabbat, and we hope that you'll join us tomorrow for a Mishkan service at 9:30. We want to invite any kids under the age of B'nai Mitzvah to come up to the Bima to help lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. It's early access to Challah, so highly encouraged. The Kiddush is on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'bratzon inchilanu. Zikaron lemase bereshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu b'charta, me'otanu kidashta, מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים. Yummy. All right, here's the challah. It's a little smaller this week. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. We'll conclude on this Shabbat Hanukkah with light one candle in your order of service. Light one candle for the Maccabee children. Give thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. And light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. Light one candle for those who are suffering the pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in. Let anger not tear us apart. And light one candle to bind us together with peace as the song in our hearts. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. What is the memory that's valued so highly that we keep it alive in that flame? What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out they've not died in vain? We have come this far, always believing that justice will somehow prevail. This is the burden and this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.